Hello. All right. Okay. See, the chat's been very busy before I got here, so this is going to take me a minute to catch up to. I also see I haven't. All right. Now, okay. Perfect timing. All right. Hello. I always love how I never know when the ad is going to end because the delay on my screen is not conducive to the live shoot from my camera. So when the ad ended, this time I was blowing my nose. Perfect timing. Ah. All right. Hello, Scott. Hello, Victor. Hello, Flash Freak. Hello, Cal. Hello, Destroyer. Hello, Adit. Hello, Laura. Welcome, anyone else just coming in right now. All right. So, surprisingly, all of a sudden got busy the last couple of days news wise. I mean, it's some interesting news and some not shocking news, I guess. All right. It's probably going to be shorter than usual because it's already 8:30 before I even started. I kind of decided last minute to do it. The James Gunn news is really kind of the reason I decided. I'm like, you know what? I think there's enough content to do a video today, or else I probably would have put this off for a few days because the Flash stuff by itself isn't, earth shattering. But yeah, so a few things have come out in the last since I talked last. Obviously, I think most of you probably know most of what I'm going to say here, and we'll get your views on it as time goes on here. But let's start off trying to catch up to the chat before we jump in, see if there's anything I'm missing. What's up? This is what's up, Scott. On with the show. Well, the show has started, Victor. Welcome. Is it bad my excitement for Superman and Lois has decreased since it's not set on Earth's Prime? I think that is a feeling a lot of people have right now, Scott, so I'm not surprised. Forgot to tell you last time. It was nice to meet you finally in Eric's 10-year anniversary stream. Watching you for a while. Yeah. It's good to interact with you too there, Flash Freak. Also, finally started Smallville after years of watching superhero content. Sorry? I mean, I hear it's a good show. I actually hear it's a good show. I will never watch it because half of those cast members are fucking scumbags. So I personally will never watch that show, but I have heard it's good. Hey CG, hey, back at you. Did you see the Ant-Man 3 trailer? No, I did not know there was one. Just DM'd you another article. I did see that. Yeah. You think it's possible we could maybe get an Arrowverse movie down the road, like what happened with Teen Wolf and Veronica Mars? Almost 0%. Almost 0%. I will not say 0% because there's been too many things that have happened that should have been 0% that technically happened. But this is in the like 0.001% category. You know what? No, I'm going to give it a little more than that. I'm going to say 0.1%. I actually don't think it's an insane idea. I think it's a highly improbable idea, though. So John Court as regular. Okay, I guess. Okay, I have mixed feelings about this. Yeah, a lot of people seem to have mixed feelings about this. So you are not alone in that sentiment, Destroyer. So we'll jump into that one first, I guess. Let me get my screen set up here. So I have come bearing links. Oh my God, did I? Oh yeah, I did put them in the discussion. So if you want to read along, I have linked all of the articles we will discuss in the link below, in the description below. Nope, didn't want settings. I wanted present. Why'd you guys rename it, man? Never going to get used to that, probably. All right. It's about to get hot in here, guys. I'm using Comic Book TV, comicbook.com for this one. Partly because they were nice enough to link to my Patreon when they used my photos, which definitely got me a couple of new patrons. So I'm going to return the favor. The Flash promotes John Cortis series regular for final season. I know we've all been sitting around for a while thinking, I hope John Core gets more screen time. Because if there is anything fans have wanted, it has been more Chegra scenes, more Cecile story. Possibly Cecile, maybe Cecile could get some new powers. That would be cool. And of course, more Chillblaine. Yes, we're getting more Chillblaine, guys. Flash has promoted John Core to series regular for the 9th and final season of the CW series, according to Deadline. Yeah, I know Deadline had it first, but I'm trying to spread the positivity around to other places. Core has appeared in The Flash in recurring role as Mark Blaine Chillblaine during season 7 and 8 of the series. Per official description of the character for the final season, it sounds like the character, who was introduced as a villain, will be on a journey of redemption, something fans got a little taste of in season 8 thanks to his relationship with Frost. So yeah, this is, I think, a thing a few people, when they read this, were kind of not surprised by, because we did see at the end of his arc in season 8, it seemed like they were trying to redeem the character. Now, will he be redeemed? Probably. I mean, this is the Flash. They go around getting jobs for people that almost killed people in City Hall. So, probably be redeemed. A charming rogue obsessed with cryogenic technology, Mark Blaine gave the Flash and his allies a run for their money as the villainous Chillblaine. Oh, that doesn't even sound right. But after falling in love with Frost, he finally began to show a softer side. Now, as the new season begins, the memory of Frost's shocking demise will haunt Mark as he sets out on his journey. I speak words good. Journey to become a hero, the description reads. So yeah, guys, you're getting more Chillblaine. I know this is probably the only thing you want to talk about today, so let's commit like the entire chat just to talking about Chillblaine, because what else happened that possibly could be talked about? Let's see what we got here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Cal. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special trailer is out. It's before Volume 3. I saw it. It looks terrible. Just woke up and immediately read the James Gunn thing. What the hell is happening? We'll get to that in a few minutes a bit. We're going to run through all the other news before we get there. Hopefully I can keep things in order. I rarely do, but hopefully I can. Hello, Silent Angel. Hello, Alejandro. The guy that gave us Chainsawed Gorilla and the phrase from Riverdale is blessing us as new DC boss. It's true. It is true. That is true. Also, the report pretty much says that Gunn is pretty much leading a part of the DC. The other parts are independent of from him. Okay. I'll be honest, I still haven't actually read an article on it. I have not read an article on it. I have only seen everybody else's retweets about it. The fact that people treated John Core announcement like it was the start of World War III. Oh, I know, right? Everyone gets triggered over the smallest little things every day. I like Chillblaine's character. I even liked him when everyone else fucking hated him. I thought it was a fun little addition, a little lightness into the show. And I don't think there's been an episode where he's been in it and like, oh, he fucking ruined the episode. I don't think there's been a point like that. That has happened with Cecile. That has happened with Allegra. And I don't even hate their characters. So how can I hate a guy that I don't think's ever ruined an episode? but I understand he is not for everybody. Did you see my Twitter about EW saying Javicia Cass's unknown role? Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute, Laura. So what did Canada do today? I woke up, then laid down, had another nap, then woke up, went out, got some food, ate it, laid down for another nap, then got up, saw the news about James Gunn, and went, I think I should do a live chat. So that's how my day is going. You think that Superman and Lois is safe? 50-50. I'll get into that in a little bit. Chilane is regular cast member for season 9. That is true. We are currently talking about that. I just skipped a whole bunch of comments because this stupid thing still doesn't know how to do this. My enemy waifu voice actor liked my tweet complimenting the Chainsaw Man English dub. My life is complete, as Lance would say. Okay, cool. Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special drop. Yeah, I saw. Klay Thompson equals burn. Klay Thompson's a great player, so I don't know if that is a positive or negative statement from Paigey, but he is definitely a skilled player. Are you down to hop on the midweek freak tomorrow? Sorry, midweek freak tomorrow at 3 p.m. I can never commit to anything that far ahead. We will have to see. Alexander arrived. He did. He's usually here for like 3 minutes and then vanishes, or just like hides and watches. Hot head, so hot in here. Basically. So do we think that Chillac? I don't know what that meant. Sorry. Ant-Man 3 looked awesome. Okay. For Chegra, pretty much they want this storyline to go somewhere. Me, I don't care. I don't ship characters, not like that. Don't lie, Destroyer. Everybody, everywhere, even that don't watch the show, are shipping Chegra. It's the only reason they even did season 9, or else season 8 would have been the end. They were like, we haven't completed Chegra yet. We need 13 episodes to do that. I hope the new Killer Frost is good because I miss Killer Frost. I guess we'll see. Let's have more Chegra scenes. Obviously, right? My thought on Chillblaine is okay, just okay. Yeah, fair enough. Chillblaine is my favorite character, but it's not worth getting angry about or even harassing the stars on social media. Yeah, the people that get on social media and start yelling at the stars over something they're never going to have any say in is insane to me. Like a high level of insane. I honestly, I mean, there are obviously things that piss me off all the time, and I don't think I have ever got mad at somebody that has no connection to how that's decided. Like, I'm not even having, I can't even put the words together explaining that, you know? Where was I? Lost my spot. There it is. Oh my God, stop harassing the actors and sending them death threats, for fuck's sakes. Same for everyone else, right? Yeah. I mean, it is one thing if you hate that person for them as a person, like, you know, I don't think death threats though, but it is good. You're within your right to say something to someone like, I disagree with, you know, Kanye West, for example. Perfectly fucking fine to go after Kanye West for the shit he said. Now, if Kanye West was an actor on a show and he had nothing to do with the casting of someone else on the show, you can't go after Kanye West for that. That, like, kind of like that. Hello, Taylor. So in the final season of Flash, we'll be dealing with Cecile's powers. Maybe. Chillblaine storyline and deal with Caitlin and Red Death storyline and more romance and possible. Have Cobalt Blue and wrap up all of this. When you say it like that, you make it sound challenging. But as we've seen, Eric Wallace is a perfectionist that never gets a detail wrong. So I don't know why you're doubting any of this. But yeah, that's technically most of what's going on. Talking to people on the internet. I got that. I didn't think you were saying it to me since I haven't said anything to anyone. I'll just send you the link tomorrow, and if you can, yeah. I mean, you can always try. One of these days, it might work out. You can hop on. Yeah. Kanye West is crazy insane. I think that is a very accurate statement. He's also dangerous because he has a platform that reaches millions of people, and he acts that way. All right, we have wrapped up the Chillblaine talk. If you have more Chillblaine questions, I guess you can put them in the chat, but I don't have a follow-up to it at this time. So let us move on to a topic that maybe one or two of you maybe somehow possibly kind of sorta might have heard about somewhere on the internet this weekend. Give me 1 second. I almost didn't have it scrolled to the right part of the page. How about we change to the shocker that nobody has seen coming? No one before yesterday knew this was happening. So, few places got this. A few places. And the first thing I'm going to say, I know a lot of people harped on Entertainment Weekly and a couple other places and the Flash podcast, who I've used their link for this one, etc., being like, there's photos, right? So I'm gonna kind of explain to you the backdoor deals of how things usually would work. A studio goes to Deadline, Entertainment Weekly, TV Line, even the Flash podcast, anyone that they believe is going to run the story right off the bat. And they'll tell them, like, here's what you're allowed to say, here's what you can't say. One of the things I clearly told all these publications is you cannot say it's Red Death. We are calling it mystery character. That is why you see everywhere you look, mystery character, even though everyone with an IQ higher than 0 already knows who the character is. And if you didn't know, by the way, there's a blog on my channel that could have told you this. Just putting it out there, somewhere on my blog, this information exists. But the publications, they have to work with the studio. They have to do with what the studio tells them. When the studio says it's mystery character, they can't go over their heads and be like, well, we already know it's Red Death. So that's why you're seeing them all running with lines like mystery character, because some idiot at Warner Brothers clearly doesn't know how to handle PR. Like, it's not like they didn't see the photos. I know for a fact, in the past, I don't know about actively current, but in the past, 3 or 4 years ago, I had as many as 4 different WB publicists following me at one time. At least 4. They're following me because they know what I do. They're not following me because they think I have really witty banter with trolls. They're following me because they know I'm going to break a goddamn scoop someday, and they got to be on top of it. So someone in their circle saw my tweets, went, oh shit, John's got another exclusive. We need to fucking get out there and tell Entertainment Weekly about this. And they told their boss, and their boss went to Entertainment Weekly, went, we have a scoop for you. And instead of giving them all the details, like, oh, by the way, it's a mystery character. We haven't decided who it might be yet. It could be Bebo. That's how that went. So when you see Entertainment Weekly, you see Deadline, you see TV Line, you see the Flash podcast saying mystery character, they're not idiots, okay? They're just working with what the studio tells them because they don't want to be left out in the cold the next time that there is something that they could get that's an exclusive, okay? So yeah, we'll really quickly read over this, and maybe then we can possibly maybe bring up. Hold on 1 minute. I just gotta stop screen so that I can do some behind the scenes magic behind the scenes. I should have had this open from the beginning, but I just thought of it now. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. We'll redo that again. Oh, God. I forgot I have to do this every time. Okay. I wish StreamYard had like multi-tier stuff I could do. Oh, weird. Huh. Okay. Well, we will. Okay. There we go. All right, so we'll read this real quick, then we'll go to my blog, which might have slightly more detail than this, but this is an official release that Warner Brothers would have said. Flash Season 9 is busy with production in Vancouver, Canada, and while the show won't be back until next year, expect to see a major Arrowverse player pop up in the final season after Batwoman was sadly canceled. Javicia Leslie, who played Ryan Wilder, aka Batwoman, is returning to the Arrowverse through the Flash's final season. The Flash podcast has confirmed with Warner Brothers TV and the CW. Sorry, there was a comma there. I thought that was a period. There was a comma, so it should have been all one sentence. I read that wrong. Anyways, Arrowverse through the Flash's final season. The Flash podcast has confirmed with Warner Brothers TV and the CW. However, the studio are not revealing the mystery role as of yet, and have also not disclosed how many episodes Leslie will appear in, as she was spotted on set this week in a very familiar DC Comics costume. More details are likely going to be unveiled closer to when the final season premieres in 2023. Are you excited for Batwoman's Javicia Leslie in the final season? Let us know in the comments below. And that was very, very brief thing, and there's obviously a reason for that, because there wasn't a lot of information they were allowed to run with. So what we do know is some asshole was on set. This guy, Canada Graphs, it says. Canada Graphs was on set. And this guy, he was out there doing his thing. And he posted the Flash Season 9, major spoiler, Redacted is playing Redacted. Who could that be? Anyways, so we read on. Flash film and crew filmed scenes on Friday night, Saturday morning in downtown Vancouver. I was not expecting a location, as I didn't find any info of filming anywhere earlier in the day. But thanks to a tweet, I got a heads up, and after a bit of recouping, I had already been outside for several hours going for hockey autographs. Oh my God, there's a spelling error. I went out at night hoping there would be something. When I first got to the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, you may recognize it as the place where Six Godspeeds versus Barry scene happened, and Frost's death scene last season. They were still a couple hours from filming, but I didn't know that yet. That's kind of funny, because I got there and I thought they were filming in the theater, because I saw them moving equipment around. The doors to the theater were open, and it was like 8:30 at night. I'm like, there's no way they're just setting up. They clearly must be, a couple hours into filming by now. So I was under the impression they were filming inside. A little walking around and a little dumb luck, and I found out later that they hadn't even started yet. They didn't start till close to midnight. This night, 3 actors were on set for scenes. Grant Gustin was on set as the Flash, as you would expect. But who else was with him? One that I didn't notice at the set. I just thought it was a background person for a bit, then realized they were in the scene, but never really knew when I was at set who it could be. It wasn't until today, when I looked at the photos, I noticed it appears to be Paul Anthony, who plays Roy G. Bivlo, aka Rainbow Raider in season 1. And yeah, that's true. I was at the set. I saw him in the scene, but I just thought he was a background person who was just like in an inconvenient position in like the rehearsal. It wasn't until later I realized he really was part of the scene, and I still didn't know who it was in the scene because looking at the camera, I'm looking at it on a screen that's that big, like it's the size of my eye. So I didn't know who it was till I got home and saw it on my big screen, and I didn't look at those photos till the next day because I was only focused on the big spoiler that I saw on set that night and didn't bother looking at the rest. But as big of a shock as that spoiler is, the OMG spoiler of the night featured in the title. Javicia Leslie, who we all know as Ryan Wilder from Batwoman, was on set, but not in her Batwoman attire, as Red Death. There you heard it, Red Death. Uh-huh, yep. Yes, you heard that right. Red Death is coming to the final season. The scene had the three of them on the set during the scene where the Flash is standing at one of the courtyard. Rainbow Raiders was standing at near the middle and Red Death near the other end of the courtyard. Flash walks slowly towards the other two before stopping. Some dialogue is exchanged between them before Rainbow Raider is standing over him, forcing the Flash down to the ground, eventually laid out flat on his back. Red Death then walks over, stands over the Flash, and then does some type of clap motion and then walks away. A bit later, they did a scene with just Red Death standing in the courtyard, spectators running around screaming. She yells out for the Flash to come and get her. So those are the only two scenes we saw shot that night. They did have a third scene that was going to be shot over on the rooftop of the building across the street from where we were, but I wasn't going to wait around for them to set that up. That was going to be a couple more hours, and it was 4:30 at night, 4:30 a.m. when I left the set. So yeah, so you guys all want to see photos. So you can see we're at the Central City Theater. That's the Central City Theater, aka Queen Elizabeth Theater. There's Mr. Barry Allen on set. There he is again. You can see just off to the side a fuzzy version of Red Death there. You can see the mat on the ground that he's going to fall onto at one point. There's a close-up of Red Death from the side. You can see the little ear beard things. I don't know what you want to call those. There's a slightly more angled look. You can see the logo a little bit. You can almost make out that there's a flash lightning bolt through the middle of the Bat logo. There you can see it a little better. You can definitely see the Flash logo and the Bat logo there. So yeah, these are her. There she is with her helmet off, but you're kind of like, that could be anybody at that point. And at that point, I can understand maybe being confused. Even in that shot, it's kind of hard because it's pretty dark. And funny enough, that's actually Paul standing beside her, and I didn't even know until later. There she is again. There she is in the costume, more costume. But there we go. Now you can be like, oh, Javicia Leslie is playing Red Death. And there she is again. And more shots of her on set. There she is with Barry kneeling down. Now, in the scene, she's not the one that makes Barry kneel down. This was, I would assume, based off of how the scene went, this is probably after the scene was completed and he's getting back up. Because during the scene, Paul's the one that stands over top of him, and he lays completely flat on the ground before Javicia actually comes over. There's all three of them standing around. There's all three of them with, I'm assuming that's the director, but I don't know who the director's name is at this time. There they are again. There they are. That's Paul and Grant. There's the scene where he's making him get down on the ground. And that's it. And that's that set. So we have completed mission number 2 for tonight. Okay. Let's see if I can catch up to the chat. Probably won't, right? I've got to be behind now. All right. How far behind am I in this? Perfect. I found it. Kanye West is crazy. Oh, dang it. Thanks for saying hi to me. Yeah, no problem. Welcome. Flash, with all of its returning cast and even other parts of the Arrowverse getting a potential closure, It really feels like they are trying to say goodbye to the Arrowverse itself. Well, they were very clearly saying goodbye to the Arrowverse when they canceled all the shows or ended the shows. What content do you think James Gunn will focus on? We'll talk about that when we get to James Gunn. He's not even a billionaire anymore. Yeah, I know. Losing that Adidas deal. Yeah, he legally became not a billionaire over it. Do you know a good website to make merch? I do not. If you've noticed, I've never done any merch. I would find it really odd if some person in another country was walking around wearing like a hat with my name on it. So I've never even considered the idea of making merch. But yeah, somebody else could probably help you with that one. That's not something I've ever even looked into. Can't wait to see Red Death. I think most people feel that way, except for the ones that want to hate on it because they love hating on things. Wow, didn't saw that coming since there wasn't photos to show her with a costume for the multiverse villain. Shocking. I know, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, no kidding, right? They might. Maybe they already do. Because the thing is, they can't report unofficial stuff. So maybe they've got someone paying for my blog, for my Patreon posts, and then they get that info, and then they phone up WB and they're like, hey, can we ask you a question that we just saw? That would be pretty funny. I mean, honestly, they should at this point. I mean, I've made them lots of free money. I really hope that 4 years in the future we get a potential Arrowverse movie. Very unlikely. However, with Zaslav not wanting HBO Max original movies, I doubt it. WB also hates the Arrowverse with a burning passion. Yeah, it would be incredibly slim chance that's going to happen. It would be so dumb to not bring in Ryan Wilder to help Team Flash fight Red Death. It would be. I'd be surprised if Batwoman doesn't show up. Like, I would be willing to bet we'll see Batwoman. This is the perfect opportunity for Flash and Batwoman to team up. Yep. What's up, CG? This is what's up, Chance. Welcome. Red Death. I was waiting for that for like 2 years. Now, how have you been, CG? Been like 2 months since I've been on your stream. Yeah. I haven't seen you around in a little while. Yeah, I've been okay for the most part. How have you been? Captain Cold return for the final season? Pretty unlikely. I don't think Wentworth Miller has an interest in doing this. I mean, I've been wrong before with the Catherine McNamara thing, but 98% of the time, I have a pretty good read on what an actor's thinking. I don't think Wentworth Miller has any interest in coming back to the Arrowverse as a on-screen character for the Flash. They might get the permission to use like a old footage of him or something, but I don't think he would come in to shoot new scenes. All right, so we seem to be caught up with that. Everyone's on board. They've all talked about Red Death for the last 5 days, so there was nothing else you guys really needed to add. So, you know what I just noticed? I already had my own stupid blog opened up on this page, and then I went and opened it up a second time for that read through we just did. I'm a dumbass. I already had it open. I've been all right. You looking forward to Red Death coming to the Flash? Who is playing Red Death? Weren't you just here a minute ago when we read over my blog post, Robert? It's all over the internet. I'll tell you that. It is almost impossible to avoid it. So that's all I'll say. All right. So the next story of the day is, drumroll, do we finally have somebody in charge of DC content? Well, the answer is, why is it always scrolled part way down the page? Why? Answer is, DC shocker. James Gunn, Peter Safran to lead film, TV, and animation division exclusive from The Hollywood Reporter. The duo will report to Zaslav and assume the title of co-chairs and co-CEOs of DC Studios. This came out at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Somehow I missed it until late in the evening. And yeah, crazy. There's a listen to article. Usually I would do that, but I'm on stream right now, so I'm going to have to read it. Oh, all right. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe really is changing. What's this big exclamation point? Why is this here? Come on, Hollywood Reporter. I expect better of you guys. You're like the last Hollywood site that has some level of full-time integrity. Come on, man. In a stunning turn of events, filmmaker James Gunn and producer Peter Safran have been tapped to lead DC Films, TV, and animation efforts as co-chairs and co-CEOs of DC Studios, a newly formed division of Warner Brothers that will replace DC Films. So that's the interesting thing. They're coming up with a new title for it, too. There's probably some legal backdoor details about that have something to do with why they're doing that and all that. I don't know what those are, but it's kind of weird to just come up with a brand new name and all that, because they would have to file for the rights to that name and all that. It's just a lot of work if there's not a real good financial legal reason to do it. The unprecedented move in which a top director will assume a top executive position marks the end of 4 months. I'm reading like a goddamn fucking child today. Marks the end of fuck off with these ads. I understand you have to have ads on your sites, but don't make them autoplay. The unprecedented move in which a top director will assume a top executive post marks the end of a months-long search by Warner Brothers Discovery CEO Zaslav to replace DC Films boss Walter Hamada, who departed the studio last week. That search had all of Hollywood guessing and playing executive bingo for who would land the most coveted and challenging jobs in town. Definitely challenging. Yes, I would say challenging. In recent weeks, Gunn and Safran were spotted on the Warner Brothers lot meeting with Warner Brothers film co-chair Michael DeLuca about future projects. And according to sources, the initial overture to Safran and Gunn came from DeLuca over the summer, even as the studio was in shaky talks with producer Dan Lin to take the job. Interesting. So they were at least poking around at the idea of giving them these roles before the Dan Lin thing. Okay. Gunn will focus on the creative side of things, while Safran will focus on the business and production side. So if you have a business idea, you go to Safran. If you have a creative idea, you go to Gunn. Both are expected to continue to direct and produce projects respectively. See, this was something I was wondering. And like I said, I hadn't read any of the articles yet. Now I know. They will report directly to Zaslav and work closely with Warner Brothers Films bosses DeLuca and Abdi. Sources say the deal runs 4 years and Gunn will be exclusive to DC. The goal is for them not to just be producers, but to truly function as executives, even as Gunn will occasionally hone a movie. So that's the interesting thing. I found it funny this came out on the same day that James Gunn tweeted out promotion for a Marvel project. I wonder if they knew. They were making this announcement today. I mean, they had to. They had to have given him at least a day's notice. Be like, and by the way, tomorrow you start with us. I wonder if that was like his last thing he was allowed to do with Marvel. Like, we will never see him tweet about Guardians of the Galaxy or any of that stuff again. I hope he promotes the stuff he's worked on, but I am curious how his DC deal will work in that aspect. Because we saw him make that tweet 5 hours before he made the tweet about getting the job. And you kind of wonder when it says he's DC exclusive. Yeah. Unlike Marvel Studios, DC has multiple films set in separate creative universes, and according to sources, Joker filmmaker Todd Phillips' work on the upcoming sequel, which goes into production later this year, will not fall under Gunn and Safran's preview, and instead will be overseen by DeLuca and Abdi. Okay. Matt Reeves, who worked under Hamada, has a budding universe based on his Batman movie. It is unclear under whose purview Reeves' future projects would fall, but everything else moving forward would be under Gunn and Safran's. All right. DC has among the most entertaining, powerful, and iconic characters. Okay, this is just like a PR spiel from somebody. Okay, I don't even know who it's from. It doesn't have a name to the quote. Okay, we basically get the idea of most of it. I don't want to read through that much. I've been having a shit time reading here. So we get the gist of it. We understand what's going on. All right, let me close that up. So we have a head for DC movies now and TV shows and other stuff. Where am I in the chat? I must be a few minutes behind. Remember, if you want me to jump the head of the line and read what you have to say faster, you can always super chat it, but I try to go in order of the chat. Anyways, McNamara has her own show on the CW Walker Independent, so unlikely she's coming back. Correct. You think WB will still release the Flash movie? Yes. I wasn't here when you were reading it. Well, the Googles or the Twitters or even YouTubes could tell you who it is. James Gunn, correct. Bye, Cal. Have a good night. I mean, kinda, Gunn is specifically hired to lead a part of DC. Well, technically he's hired to lead all of DC, just, you're right, it is part of it, but in the creative aspect, every creative decision is his. From the financial business side of it, like maybe how to make a movie poster, when to put out a trailer, those little details would fall more on the business side of the other guy. I'll be completely honest, I'll still go see the Flash movie no matter what happens with Ezra. There's a few people that feel that way. Haven't met James Gunn. How is he? You think he'll do a good job? Haven't met James Gunn. Get that off the screen. So many little things I'm doing wrong today. Yeah, I have. How is he? He was fine. Yeah, he's cool. You think he'll do a good job? I mean, I have to assume when you consider all the people that might be available to do the job, he would be, I would say he'd at least be high on the list of people that you would consider for the job because of his track record as a director and a creator. We won't know really until we see a couple of his decisions, you know. There's lots of people. We talk about this all the time. People that are great writers that are terrible showrunners. Same thing would come with this, right? If you're a good director or you're a good writer, doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be good at the other parts of the job. It just is a fact, you know. Where was I in the chat? I keep forgetting I changed screens. I have too many things on the go here. Heard rumors about George McKay playing the Flash as replacement Ezra Miller since he pled guilty and is facing 26 years in jail. Who? Do I have a Google tab open? I almost always do. Where is it? Do I not have a Google tab open right now? That's fucking weird. Let's go to the Googles. George McKay? I guess you mean? Okay. I mean, we won't know until the movie comes out, right? Like, if they do a scene with this guy at the end of the movie and they're like, "Oh, this is the new Flash," then yeah, I guess so. But I haven't heard of them doing a scene with this guy. Have you? What are these rumors you heard? Like, where did you hear them from? Like all that, because I mean, we know Ezra went in and did reshoots recently. So did they do a reshoot scene with this George McKay guy? Damn, 26 years. Yeah, from the legal technical aspect, 26 years is the maximum he could get, but realistically, he's going to get 3 or less years. Hands down, both Grant is the best Flash there is. Most people agree with you. Ads are getting annoying. LOL. To a degree, yeah. I agree with you. I don't have a problem with a ad running at the bottom. Like when I'm watching a YouTube video and you get the ones that are just at the bottom that you can click off to delete, I don't really have a problem with those. I also don't have a problem with the ones that have the little skip ad thing. Those ones, A-okay. The ones where I have to physically sit there through 15 seconds of ad, I'm noting your ad, by the way. I will notice your fucking ad, and I will make an effort to never fucking buy your product. I am very petty, very petty. And if you're going to purposely inconvenience me and you know you're inconveniencing me, I will take it out on your fucking company. If you have an ad, perfectly understandable. You need to let people know your product exists. Give me the choice to opt out of that ad, and I won't take offense against you over it. But if you're going to run a 15, 30-second ad on me without a skip button, I'm remembering that. Somewhere in my drawer, I have a list of companies that I used to write down that pissed me off. I'm sure that doesn't surprise any of you after, some of the things you've heard me say, or the 7-Eleven video, I still haven't been to that 7-Eleven, by the way. Where was I? What did you look up? I don't know what you mean by that. Why is there no set photos for Flash Season 9, Episode 2? Because there was none to be had. I can't photograph things that don't exist. I mean, Eric Wallace wrote personally a lot of good episodes of The Flash that I love, but he is very hit and miss as a showrunner. See, perfect example. There are different parts of the job that maybe you just don't have. I mean, I'm a sports guy, so that's where I was brought up in a sports world. It would be like expecting a player that is a great player on the offensive side of the game to suddenly be a top defensive player. They're different skill sets. Doesn't mean he can't do it, but he probably won't do it as well as he does at the other side of the game, And it's the same with that. If they're going to recast Ezra, the movie will have to be delayed at this point. No, I mean the movie, the Flash first movie is coming out, no doubt about it. But if they recast him, they haven't even come up with a date yet for if they're doing a second movie, let alone a release date for it. So no, there's no delay at that point. I wouldn't say 3. I'd say 5 to 7. 5 on the low end, 7 on the top end. I don't think it'll be that high. First of all, you're talking about a laughably low amount of crime. That he's done a lot of other criminal things, but the one he's being charged with, breaking and entering and stealing alcohol, man. I mean, it is only the the legal maximum is 26, but that would be if he did like a fucking crime spree version of it. He's also a celebrity. He is also a person that has high-end lawyers. The worst this guy gets is 3 years and spends 6 to 10 months in prison. The rest of it in home arrest. That is the worst he's going to get. Worst. The reality is he'll probably get like 1 year, spend like 3 months in prison, house arrest, and have to do some community service. That is probably the type of deal this guy's going to get because he has money. Yeah. I heard it on Facebook, but just rumors doesn't mean it will only saw him 1917 and he was good in it. Oh, okay. Well, Facebook is always a reliable place for information. No one's ever been wrong on Facebook ever. I don't know what else to do with that information, man. If you see something on Facebook or Reddit first, I mean, come on, man. You're just bad with the flash speed. The MF has infinite speed. They don't even follow the comics. They don't need to follow the comics. This isn't a comic. It's a TV show. 2 different mediums. Who do I think deserves the Darksaber more? Whichever one's going to make the story more interesting. I don't know who deserves it more because I don't know the backstory. I don't watch all the secondary shows and the cartoon shows. I just watched I watched Mandalorian. I watched Boba Fett. I'll watch Ahsoka when it comes out. I haven't even watched the new one, whatever that one is. I haven't even watched that one yet. So I don't know all the backstory. Fuck Ezra Miller. He better stay there for 26 years because I don't care. Keep him in jail. Well, he's not going to get 26 years for that. I don't know what happened on Hawaii. I don't know if he's facing any criminal issues from that stuff, but the stuff in Vermont is kind of peanuts compared to what he's done. Ezra Miller might get 2 years at the most. Yeah, I think 3 at the most, and a year of that might actually be in jail. The rest will be like house arrest. 3 does sound fair now that you think about it. Yeah. Do you think they will not really promote the Flash movie aside from trailers? The only promotion they might do is with secondary cast. You might see Michael Keaton or Sasha Calle or Kiersey Clemens do a couple things. But whoever does the interviews, they will be told ahead of time, like, we're not talking about Ezra. Like that type of stuff. I forgot on Instagram too, the rumor recasting, but I think it's BS for now. Yeah, well, we won't know that until we hear there's even another movie coming, right? Imagine if Walter White got Speed Force powers. Jesse, we must cook meth. I watched some of Breaking Bad, but not enough to really have a input on that. How am I through all these topics, guys? It's crazy. There's weeks where I can't keep up with the chat the entire time. And then there's just weeks where I catch up to you guys in like 35 minutes. I don't understand. Supergirl movie is not going forward. No. Most things on WB are not going forward at this time. Now that they have some people in the role of decision making, maybe some new changes might happen. But that was one of the things. We have a Victor D. Chinchilla super chat. Let's get that up on the screen. Funko Hello from Superman. I do not have Superman here. He has not found his way to my lair. I still have to look for whatever Funko it was you told me to look for before. Reverse Flash. I have forgot to look for that since the last time you told me. I can find a Superman one easy enough. There's dozens of different variations of him. But Reverse Flash, I have never looked for one. Now that I know I can get Tyler at set, I might go buy a Superman one. Um, what would you say is the best and worst time you had in the whole 9 seasons of Flash? What will you be trying to get from the last season of Flash? What will you miss? Best has definitely been. I mean, there's been a few bests. Obviously, certain scoops, knowing that I had them and no one else did. Those have always been fun to be there for. Engaging with some of the crew members that are actually cool is good. I've met a few crew members on that show that I have now known through other shows. I will see them on another show and they'll come up to me and be like, "Hey man, haven't seen you since the Flash season 3. How you doing?" Stuff like that. That's always good. I have those same rapport with some people through Arrow and Supernatural and Fringe. I will see them on shows 6 years later and they'll be like, "Man, I haven't seen you since this." And it's good to have people around the industry that are always excited to see you. It makes it a little easier on you doing your side of the job. Um, some of the engagements I've had with some of the actors, obviously those would be cool. I mean, almost every actor on that show I have had a good encounter with. Um, Worst times. Anytime that it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm struggling to get a photo and it's pouring rain and cold. Kind of sucks. um, Anytime where I have put in a lot of time thinking I was gonna get something good and it just did not work out has obviously sucked. Anytime that I waited around to get someone's autograph and either the actor snubbed me or a crew member decided to make themselves a hero and inconvenience me, sucks. Little things like that. Well, I try to get from the last season, obviously, as much as I can. I mean, I have told a couple of the people that I know, like, if they see them anywhere else outside of downtown Vancouver, if I haven't run into them for a few days, I'm willing to probably travel a little bit to go find them. And I don't do that very often, as you guys know. If you've ever really looked at my content, 98% of what I post is from shoots in downtown Vancouver. Um, what will I miss? I think one of the things I'll miss the most is actually being motivated to go out for things because there's not much left in Vancouver that will motivate me to actually leave the house. Like today, perfect example today. And you guys are going to be a little angry at me about this, but I knew Superman and Lois was downtown Vancouver somewhere today. Um, I did not go to look for it because it was pouring rain, gross ass pouring rain. It's like 7 degrees out, and I was kind of tired. I woke up twice in the morning and early afternoon, and I was kind of like, "Oh, that's super. I got to go find that stupid Superman set." I'm like, "Okay, maybe in 2 hours." I would look outside. I'm like, "Oh, it's gross out. I don't want, not right now. Yeah, maybe in 2 hours. I'll check in 2 hours." Lay back down, wake up like 4 hours later, look outside. It's still pouring, and I'm like, "No, I'm not going out today." So yeah, things like that. I will miss being motivated to go out for sets. If the Flash had been out today, if I'd known the Flash was out today, I would have probably put in the time to actually try because I know at the end of the day, it pulls me more viewers still than Superman and Lois. Superman and Lois does good, but Flash does like 3 steps above good. So the being motivated to go out for a set, I think I'll miss because if I don't know, Nancy Drew was filming a block from my house, which by the way, they will be doing tomorrow or the day after. I'm probably not going to do it unless I'm super bored or already out of the house for something else. It's not a show that inspires me to go out and look for it. Little things like that. Obviously, no, no like shock either money, Grant autographs. I don't even know how much I've made over the years off him, but it's been a few $1,000s. The rest of the cast, a couple $1,000s. From just stuff like having stuff to talk about on these chats where I get a bit of ad revenue and some super chats from you guys. That's all money that when you break it down per show, the Flash has made more than the other shows probably combined. So, all those little things like that. Even being able to talk with you guys about these things. I realized just like when Supergirl ended, just like when Arrow ended, just like when every other show ended, there's a percentage of the people that are just never going to come back. That's their show. Their show is ended. They have nothing more they need to know about, and they're not going to come back. There's going to be some of the people in this chat today that when the Flash ends, they'll stick around for a few weeks, then they'll just vanish off, and we'll never see them again. So yeah, things like that. But what are you going to miss? And what has been your highlight and your least favorite part of the show? And anybody in the chat can answer that one. Anybody. Well, David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, writer of the Aquaman movie. The first was written a script for The Flash 2. I read it on Instagram. It was a week or two news. Just because there's a script doesn't mean there's a movie. There's a billion scripts out there that never even got to the desk of someone that makes those decisions. All these rumors about the Flash having a second movie and all that stuff, none of that happens until they announce the Flash is having a second movie. Plain and simple. Just literally plain and simple. That's very quiet here tonight. Only 7 viewers right now? How's that statistically possible? Is there something going on tonight? It's a Tuesday night. Is there something going on I don't know about? That's weird. Usually at 9:30 at night, there's, average is probably about 14 or 15 at least. Okay. Maybe I'll wrap it up early because kind of quiet here and I've run out of topics somehow. I thought I'd be trying to keep up with chat all night. Are you guys even hearing me? Last comment in my comment section was at 9:24. Hot in. Let me guess. Here? Have a good one, Destroyer. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thanks for dropping by. All right. I feel like we have. Oh, you know what? Victor hasn't got a Funko hello yet. Let's find him a Funko to say hello. Okay, guys. I really need you to show 110% effort here because I feel you need to put in some effort. Okay, guys. All right. Okay. We'll start with you. Okay. You go first. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is The Flash. You don't know who I am. I'm the fastest man alive. You can't tell who I am. And I am telling you right now to watch The Flash when it comes out this season because we have a really cool special guest that is from another Arrowverse show that you might know as a different character, but they're going to be coming and playing a mystery character on the show. I can't tell you what it is, but I can only tell you that we are ready for this character and that it might be the death of us if this character is not taken well. But watch The Flash. I got to go. Bye. Wow, that was really nice of him to come by and do that. And we have one more guest here. He has come all the way from Washington State. Very nice of him. Hi, I am the famous Peacemaker. You can't see me. I mean, I am Peacemaker, and you can see me because I am very seeable. I don't know why you wouldn't see me. Is there some reason you wouldn't see me? Well, whatever it is, watch Peacemaker season 2 when it comes out in 2053 at this rate. I will be an old grandpa by then, but we will hopefully get a Peacemaker season 2, even though the guy that is in charge of making my show now has his hands full trying to help other people do their shows. Hey, for a second there, you couldn't actually see me. But there we go. I have said what I have. I have said my piece, and I need to go. That was very nice of him to come by. I have not done one of those in so long. I forgot which hands to hold them with. Oh. The fact that we got the Flash TV season was my highlight. Did think it was going to happen. I will miss the Arrowverse is coming to an end, and the end. Anything hero related. Some of the cast members that made my day. Well, that's cool. That's cool. And I glad you can hear me, Flash Freak. For a minute there, I wasn't sure because there'd been like a 7-minute gap in conversation, and I didn't know why. So I'm glad people are still listening and can hear. I don't know what else to say, guys. I have run out of topics. How's there 11 people now? How have we gone up 4 people since? Oh well, whatever. I'm not going to complain. How long before you think you'll have another we'll have another Flash show? Hard to say. 20 years? I'm saying that, and I know that sounds like a long time, but what was it? 30 years? 25 years between the last two? It all depends on money at the end of the day, you know? It could be 8 years, could be 25, it could be never. You're not going to see one in the next 5 years. That's the one thing you like. They're not going to reboot any of these shows in 5 years. You know. But 10 years, maybe. 25, I think sometime in the next 25, there'll definitely be some reboot of it. But in the next 5 years, no. Last thoughts coming in. It's already 9:36, so it's not like it's really that early of a departure for me. Any last comments, questions, rants, etc.? Get them in now. Hey, Shelly, how are you? How are you guys doing? Give me a second here. Etc. Get them in now. I am wrapping up in a few minutes. I actually, the other night when I was at set, I considered texting you to tell you that finally, Grant is signing again. But I realize I don't have your number in this phone, or I don't have it memorized. So if you want to contact me at some point, go ahead. But yeah, he's finally back to signing again. So if you've got anything left you still need done, at least you'll know. For the last 2 seasons, he wasn't doing anything. Anything else I need to add? And off the top of my head, I don't have another big update. How am I doing? I am okay. Yeah, my number's still the same. I'm okay. I mean, I think like everybody, I've gone through ups and downs during the pandemic. It's been tiresome at times. But you know, there are people doing worse off than me, so I can't complain too much. How have you been? How are you? How's the kid? Could Gunn be in charge of the Arrowverse? Well, there'll be no Arrowverse left soon, so no. That was a question I thought some people might ask, is like, what are the chances what are the chances that he could revive some of the shows? I think almost 0%. I would not hold out any hope, not even a slight hope. Have a good one, Laura. Good night. I would hold out no hope of that happening. If it happens, consider it the most pleasant surprise of your life, but I would not hold out any hope on that happening. I would put that in the zero hope pile. If it happens, great, but I don't know why he would bother. It's not a highly financially viable thing. They've already been ended for a while. It would be hard just from a getting it up off the ground standpoint to bring any of these shows back. They would have to re-sign all the cast. They would have to find a studio to film in. They would have to redesign some of the set pieces. For the record, by the way, Batwoman has a set sale going on in 2 weeks, so all of their pieces are going to be sold off. Oh, that's cool. Good to hear. So all of these shows that are already ended / canceled, almost impossible to bring them back at this point. There's so many hoops they would have to jump through to get to there that it's not worth the effort for them to do. The Flash, if there was a show they could technically kind of maybe sort of save, might be The Flash, but I don't think that's gonna. Stargirl is dead in the water. Its ratings are so bad that they're not going to bother with that. Superman and Lois, I think, has at least one more year. They could maybe push Superman and Lois for season 5 or up to its season 6 cap. But I think right now season 4 is probably a realistic possibility, and after that, big question marks unless something really changes in the ratings. Could Stargirl get saved by going to HBO Max? No, because aren't they getting rid of HBO Max? Isn't HBO Max like on the chopping block? They're just trying to figure out how they're going to do it. A little worried about the new Jonathan. Does he seem like he will be good? Seen any good acting? Good to know Grant is signing again. That would have been frustrating. I saw the new Jonathan on set in my blog. There's some stuff in there. I've even got a video on my YouTube channel of him filming a scene. It's hard to always know based off of one little set of stuff. Like I've literally seen him film the equivalent of like 30 seconds of screen time. So really hard to tell by that. The one thing I'll definitely say for him, far friendlier than the other. Not that Jordan Elsass wasn't friendly. He just he came off a little more serious and not as playful. This guy looks like he's excited to be there. Like he seems to get along with all the cast. He's always out having fun with them. With their Instagram stories are always full of the like 3 or 4 of them out having fun together. Oh, say hi to her too. So they seem to at least get along really well. Whether or not that will translate on screen, we really have to wait and see. The one day I was there, he seemed to be getting along. He did scenes with Bitsy that day, and they seem to be getting along. So he at least has a good rapport with the cast. That's the one thing I can say. As far as his actual acting ability, I mean, that really will come down to seeing it on screen, you know? Like I said, I would have only seen like 30 seconds of his actual scene. So it's hard to really say based off of that. Will I be going to the Batwoman sale? Yes. I don't know what to expect when I get there because most of the stuff that they had listed in the advertisement is for women, which makes sense. I mean, it's a female-based show. I mean, honestly, I'm a little curious. Like, did like Camrus and Nick Cregan and Dougray Scott steal all their clothes when they left the set? Because this is a list of things So here's a list of things that they have on their list for the auction. It does say men's, women's, and children's clothes, but then in the list it goes winter coats, jackets, jeans, pants, dress shirts, dress pants, suits, suit jackets, skirts, sweaters, cardigans, bodysuits, sports jackets, blouses, sweaters, tops, yoga bras, leggings, bathing suits, silk thermals, leather gloves, scarves, bras, underwear, ties, and ties accessories, necklaces, earrings, bracelets, knit gloves, hats, and purses. Like that's a very long list of female-oriented stuff. I mean, there's suits and ties in there, but it is like 90% going to be women's clothes. And usually when I go to these things, even though I do buy things to resell, I also go there because I want to find things that are going to fit me. And I don't think I'm gonna need any earrings or yoga bras and leggings. But I'm still gonna go there anyways, just to see if there's any cool things, find something that I recognize, because I've got something from almost every show that I have gone to a set sale for. So yeah, that is not until November 18th though, so a couple of weeks away still. That sounds good. Glad he is fitting in. I'm not sure if I want them to just pretend nothing changed or if I want them to come up with a reason he looks different. I wonder what they will do. Yeah, everybody's been wondering that. That was one of the first questions that came up, and I think there used to be an approach studios would use in the 80s, and I haven't seen many people use it since then. And I think it's honestly the best way to do it, and I don't know why they wouldn't do it. And that is just make an announcement right at the start of the show, a quick 20-second announcement with someone doing overlay of the voice, and just be like, the character of Jonathan will now be played by Michael Bishop. That's all you have to do. Most fans will understand and move on from there. Few fans will be confused, but 99% of the fans will understand there's been a recasting and just accept it, Been a while since I caught one of your lives. Glad I was able to, even if it was at the end of it. Good to hear you're doing good. Yeah, it's my schedule is so inconsistent at this time of year because there's no shows on right now for me to tune my schedule to. So it's really anybody knows when I'm going to be on type schedule. I bet Ruby stuff will sell. Maybe. I mean, they might have just thrown that right in the garbage. But yeah, it is 9:46 here, guys. So I will wrap this up in 5 or less minutes. Assuming there's nothing else to say. But yeah, as for Ruby stuff, I'm sure there'll be some things there, obviously. But I don't think, even if there I would buy it simply because I don't really want to deal with any of her fans. They're terrible people. Well, not all of them, obviously, but there's a lot of toxic fans on her fandom. Ruby should have been Red Death. No, leave her. Get her as far away from the Arrowverse as possible. No, she can go back to doing like movies with big giant whales or whatever it was that she did. What was that movie she did? I forgot. She can do those movies that no one needs to think about. But yeah, so I think we're all caught up on everything. If you are just getting here, like Shelley did, Cliff Notes version of everything that happened today. James Gunn has been hired by DC to be their CEO and co-executive with another guy whose name I've already forgotten. James Gunn will be in charge of the creative side, the other guy in charge of the business side. We obviously got news a couple of days ago that John Core is getting boosted up to regular on The Flash. We also got the news that Javicia Leslie is coming back to The Flash. Shocker. But she's going to be playing a mystery character who may or may not be Red Death. And I think that's all there was to cover really today. I mean, there's probably a couple of smaller stories that just slipped through the cracks. I know someone sent me a story about the $2 billion and all that stuff that Warner Brothers is trying to shed and all that stuff, but I didn't have enough input on that to really go into it deep, and I don't think it would have been much to add to it that hasn't already been said. Um, Ruby killed the Arrowverse. Geez, man, when you kind of say it that way, I mean, she she left, she got fired, and the Arrowverse is ending like a year and a half later. I assume the Flash sale will be a must for you or anybody. I really hope there is a Flash sale. So Legends of Tomorrow, we got screwed over on because there's now two companies in town. There used to just be one. There's now two companies in town that do these things. The other company, I do not like this company so far. Everything they do via auctions. And on top of it, they kind of are dealers in their own right. So they kind of have an idea that, like, I talked to someone that knows them, and the owner gives off the like scummy vibe feeling. He's kind of like, I'm really mad that I have to sell these things unlabeled because I know what the real value on them is. So I have a hunch that this guy's probably doing some shady stuff behind the scenes to make sure his friends get some of the deals. Is what it is, though. The word on the street is they're putting in a bid for the flash sale, which if that's the case, it's going to be all online. Nothing will get seen in person, and everybody's going to get fucked over. They'll end up going for thousands and thousands of dollars instead of tens of dollars. Yeah. I just realized come next year with one or two shows how these lives will be so different. Wow, how time has gone by. Yeah, I don't know what the long-term plan is. I mean, I realize once the Arrowverse is done, 75% of my viewers go along with it. But, you know, I don't know what the next big show will be in Vancouver because I didn't know Arrow was going to be a big show when it came up, right? I didn't know what Supernatural was before it came along. When I started my blog, my website had nothing to do with TV and movies. It was sports. It was 6 months in when Twilight came along and moved me into movies and TV. And then from there, there's been a dozen other things along the way. Once Upon a Time, Fringe, Supernatural, The Killing, Stargate Universe, probably one or two, iZombie. There's been, 10 other shows outside the Arrowverse before the Arrowverse was really taking off. So there's always something new coming along. I just haven't found yet what that's going to be, you know? But yeah, I think that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for coming by, everyone. Thank you again to Victor for the super chat. And I will see the rest of you maybe Sunday for GeoGuessr, but I don't know for certain. But we'll see. We'll see whenever my next live chat is. Hopefully, it's full of interesting news when it does happen, though. But thanks. Have a good one, and bye.